Welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to Predator Badlands. LOL, what? By the Critical Drinker. Now, I have seen a couple clips of this and it seems dumb. Like, from what I've seen, well, I say clips, I mean YouTube shorts. I've seen a couple YouTube shorts since YouTube has recommended them to me. From what I've seen, the Predator seems like a retard in the nicest way possible. Like, he's, I don't know what to say. He's like doing really dumb shit. And before, like, because I've seen the first one, I've seen Predator versus Alien. That's the one with like the mother alien and like they blow it up, right? Predator versus Alien. Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that's like the first time they show like a big mother like alien. I've also seen there was another one with the Predator and I totally forgot about it. So it must have been like dog shit or something. But from what I've seen, like the whole like lore about Predator, I am recording, right? Yeah, is that they're like an honorable fighting like species. It's like a Spartans, right? Like they want to fight. No, I guess it would. I guess the best example would be like samurai. Like they're honorable and they like fighting, like hunting. So they like respect the prey and shit like that. Which doesn't seem like what's going on.
Can always count on with Disney. If there's an IP out there with even a hint of gas left in the tank, they will
Oops.
ride that thing until the wheels fall off. And probably keep going for several more miles, leaving a trail of sparks and flaming wreckage in their wake. And two of the
Oh,
biggest
wait,
several more
wait,
miles, leaving
dude, he's doing this on purpose. Like, there's
a
no way he
trail of
doesn't see.
sparks and
Like, his windows are open. He can definitely hear that, right? Like, he's on the left lane, not even the right. So he's not even trying to like stop on the side or anything like that.
flaming wreckage in their wake. And two of the biggest IPs to fall under their dark influence during the Fox merger were Aliens and Predator, both icons of pop culture that boast at least, two good movies each. And well, we've already seen how that turned out for Aliens.
Get away from her. You bitch.
Predator, though, is a bit more complicated. The surprise success of Prey on Disney Plus, and damn man, they must have regretted not giving that one a theatrical release, seems to have convinced them that there's plenty more mileage to be gotten out of the Predator franchise. And so, the floodgates
Oh, right. This was like there was an Indian guy who pretended to be dead. Yeah, there's another. Like there was an Indian guy or not an Indian. No, there was an Indian guy with like a bow and arrow, and he like beat the Predator. Like that was another clip I saw. It was like, what? Like this super advanced like fighting species is like losing to like a twig with a rock? What's going on?
have opened and the sludge is in full flow. Case in point, Predator Badlands, an upcoming standalone movie from Dan Trachtenberg, the same guy who directed Prey. The first teaser dropped a few days ago.
I don't think I've seen Prey. However, there was a game called Prey, wasn't there? And you were like a monster? Maybe not. Yeah, there is a game where like there's two teams. A player is the monster, and there's like three or four humans who want to capture or kill the monster. So the monster has to like kill and eat NPCs or yeah, NPCs like animals and shit to evolve and then become strong enough to like wipe out the hunters.
And
Is that
everyone
what the movie is based off? I'm just guessing. I haven't seen it.
was abuzz about one thing.
Okay, dude.
One thing.
Okay, let's compare it. Because I remember as a kid, I thought this shit looked like super scary. Dude, look at this. Like, this guy's insane. Look at this eye. You can't even see this. Like, this one's popped out. This one's, like, going inside. Then you compare it to this, where it's like, okay, dude. Like, the skin, like, oh, bro. Like, modern movies just don't have like the grit, I think it's called, right? Or like old movies. Like it's super like there's too much blending in. Would that be the right? It's CGI. It's just CGI, right? This is all CGI. It's like blending in, like smooth. There's nothing rough. And then like you go here and it's like super rough, like full of wrinkles. It's so weird.
Okay, look, I know that appearances can be deceptive, and sometimes the VFX are a bit unfinished in shots like this, and blah blah blah.
It's
But
shitty.
holy shit, was this a mistake? How is it that a high profile movie made in 2025 somehow looks less convincing than a mid budget sci fi action flick from the
Dude,
1980s?
look at
I
that.
mean, just take a moment to look at the original Predator from 1987. Look how much detail there is here. Look at the drop.
To be fair, what they did back then is like they tried to make it dark, like at night a lot of the times, and they added a lot of water because water did something like special. I don't remember the like that video I reacted to about Pirates of the Caribbean said that like water made it so like CGI or the camera like it made it look more real. I don't remember exactly what it did, but it made it look better. That's what they tried to like always be wet.
Droplets of water on its skin, the complex markings and patterns across its face, the deep set eyes that are barely visible, the jaw mandibles moving and twitching, the long tentacles hanging down around its heads. It's an incredible piece of creature design and complex animatronics that's just as iconic and alien and terrifying as the xenomorphs were. Then look at old Lumpy here from Badlands. It looks like something that just wandered in from the set of.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a cartoon for kids. Like this is what you would do to make it like a for kids. Because I can see a kid being afraid of this, I guess. Maybe not actually no. Even as a kid I wouldn't be afraid of this. Maybe a toddler would be afraid of this. But you know how like Teen Titans for example. Like the original like Teen Titans cartoon was like super good. It was like let me show you guys. Not this one. Uh please. Not this one either. Where is it? Because I remember there was like a super like a cool one that wasn't cartoonish. And then like actually made it like a cartoon and all that. Was it with this one in like this series? Well, if you know, you know. There was like a Teen Titans maybe it was a movie, not a series, but they looked super. Nah, it wasn't this one. It was like more realistic, less cartoony, like more gritty, like it was darker. And then this shit came out where it's like, what's this? It's like for kids, you know what I mean? Like it's a downgrade. It's more simplistic, just for kids.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The skin's all rubbery and out of focus. There's no surface detail or droplets of water or smears of dirt or anything at all to indicate that this thing is actually physically present. Also, why in the name of holy fuck does it have a side shave? I mean, you understand,
Wait,
so
what?
why in the name of holy fuck?
Wait, it does have a shot. No, okay, okay. To be fair, like the dark spots end like here, so maybe maybe this species or whatever. I don't know the full like predator lore, but maybe this species like only gets hair up to like here. Like you know, you see these like dark spots or like tentacles in like the forehead. Maybe that's where the hair like ends. That could be possible, I guess. But this part being darker does make it seem like he did get like a shave.
Does it have a side shave? I mean, you understand that those things growing out of the side of the predator's head aren't actually hair that can be
Yeah.
cut and styled like human hair, right? Showing it in broad daylight was also the worst possible decision because every visual flaw and shortcoming is
Yeah.
exposed for the whole world to see. Look, I'm under no illusions about the original prosthetic either, right? There's a very obvious reason why movie monsters like this and the xenomorphs are usually shown in
The dark hides a lot of imperfections. But when it comes to like scary creatures like this, the dark also adds like another layer of like creepiness. You know what I mean?
darkness. All those shadows and pale moonlight help to hide the moving parts, disguise the fact that it's basically just a stuntman in a rubber suit, and make the whole thing look a whole lot more intimidating than it probably was. That's fine, it's part of the magic of filmmaking, and it worked. Filmmakers back then understood the visual
Yeah.
limitations of the tools they were working with, and found ways to enhance them instead of undermining them. Anyway, I digress. Let's
Well,
talk
yeah.
about
The thing is, because they didn't have everything like in a platter or plater, whatever, however you say it. It's a silver platter or a silver plate, or they actually had to work and like try to do something. And the thing is, when you have to work a lot to make something, like you're gonna try to make it as best as it can be. Because you're not gonna waste like 10 hours or 12 hours and make some mediocre shit, right? You're gonna make it as good as you think you can. However, when now that like CGI 314, now that it's CGI and now that it's so good and you can make this like with pretty much zero effort, it's like I'm not wasting that much time, so who cares? Let's just leave it like that, right? 314. But that's pretty much it. Like, there's no real time investment in making this, so there's no like time sink fallacy or whatever it's called, where you want to make it as good as it
trailer
can be.
for itself. The plot, as far as I understand it, is that a young predator has been banished from his homeworld for being retarded or something and ends up
Yeah, from the clips I've seen, it's not wrong. He is retarded.
on some remote planet where he teams up with a Wayland Yutani android to take down the biggest, baddest monster in the area to prove himself worthy of a place amongst his own people again. In a nutshell, the Predator is now the protagonist of the movie this time around.
It's a bold.
What? Why would you do that? Like, what? No, wait, so there's no humans? Wait, no. Am I going
In
what's
a
this?
nutshell, the Predator to prove up with a Wayland Yutani android.
Wait, an android? What? So he's fighting like a dark planet with like a super advanced android? But I saw a clip where he was fighting like an Indian guy who had like a... Wait a minute. An Indian guy who had a... What's it called? Like a bow. And he lost to that guy with the bow. So you're telling me he's winning against like an android? Like a super advanced like humanoid android. But he lost to a bow? How does that make sense?
Android to take down the biggest, baddest monster in the area to prove himself worthy of a place amongst his own people again. In a nutshell, the Predator is now the protagonist of the movie this time around.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I mean, I'll at least give them credit for doing something a bit different with this one. There's only so many times you can pit a group of guys with guns against a lone predator that kills them off one by one while they slowly come to grips with the enemy that they're facing, and conceptually it's a neat idea to mix things up a little and flip the dynamic here. I'm just not entirely convinced.
Well, the thing is, you can't make a retard the main protagonist. Because the whole point of the predators themselves is that they're like really honorable, right? That they want a worthy challenge, like a worthy hunt. So if you make the protagonist someone who's like who doesn't care about that, it's like, what's the point then? Like seeing the like I guess if there was like a super good like hunt and you made the predator the protagonist and then you like showed how like he prepared and like how he analyzed the situations and shit like that, like getting like basically, would that even be interesting? I think it could be interesting. Yeah, and how like it doesn't do certain things because it finds that dishonorable and like yeah, shit like that basically.
that
Dude,
an
I don't know. Like I have a bit of a headache. Sorry for the shit commentary, guys.
8 foot tall monster whose entire vocabulary consists of.
Yeah, yeah. I totally forgot they can't speak. So the movie would pretty much be, rah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess what they could do is like you know how in like movies or like games, there's like a Japanese guy, but the Japanese guy talks in English because the player doesn't know Japanese, and they shows the language as you know English to play the game. They could do that where they're like where the what's it called? The predator is just making the meh noise, but you hear like English, I guess. Basically a dub.
And is the kind of protagonist that audiences are likely to get behind. Also, and this could be just a personal thing, but I'm not sure I want to know more about the predators as a species. I don't really want to know what their society or their homeworld looks like, or how they interact with each other, or what they get up to in their spare time. Much like the xenomorphs, their fascination always lay in their mystique. Yeah, the movies would drop little hints about larger events and a more complex social structure, but we were still mostly kept in the dark about them, and that was unquestionably a
Yeah.
good thing.
So the more you think about, the more you know about something, the less fear you have towards it. I think that's a valid like criticism, I guess. Like yeah, I can see that.
As I've said many times before, questions like this are usually way more interesting and compelling than any answers a filmmaker could give. Just ask Ridley Scott. The attempt to merge this movie with the Alien franchise is another red flag for me, because every time these two IPs have tried to crossbreed, the results have ranged from mediocre slop to painfully.
Alien Predator Requiem. Is this the one? Dude, my spelling sucks today. Wait, how dog shit is this movie? Okay, maybe it's because I wrote it wrong. Alien versus. Wait. Okay, no, okay, yeah. There's more pictures. Maybe it's not this one. Hmm. I guess this one isn't the one I saw as a kid.
Bad to downright baffling. The connection here is Thea, a Weyland-Yutani android from an unknown time period in the Alien franchise,
So they just made up some like random species, I'm
who
guessing.
seems to have ended up on the same planet as the big lads.
Right.
It's too early to tell what her function in the story is or why she's actually here, but I can't shake the horrifying feeling that her presence is laying the groundwork for another Alien vs Predator movie, or God help us, an entire cinematic universe of this crap.
Nah.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh man.
The one point of light at the end of the tunnel here is Dan Trachtenberg, who's pulling writing and directing duties this time around after his work on Prey. That movie might not have been perfect, but it was a decent stab at doing something slightly different with the Predator franchise, and although I think people cut it way more slack than it probably deserved, it was still miles better than the loose collection
Dude, what?
of lazy
He
callbacks.
keeps talking about prey. Is it like prey predator? I guess it's this one. I mean, yeah, this is scary. This is an improvement. I can see that. Wait, an Indian? Or I guess that's not an Indian. Could this be the one I've seen in like a YouTube short? It's this, wait, no, it's this one. I was wrong. I wasn't seeing Predator Badlands in like the YouTube shorts. It was Prey. When did this movie come out? Yeah, because oops. This scene. This is when there's like a guy lying down that he was like faking being dead. Then the predator like steps on his foot, he screams, and then like gets killed. Right? It's that one? Spoiler alert, I guess. When did this come? 2020? What? So this came out in 2022, and this one came out like not long ago, right? And instead of putting this one in my like recommended, YouTube somehow decided, nah, this one sucks. I'm gonna put Prey in there. Like, what? Like, I've been talking about this movie, like, thinking it was this one. Like, all the time. Yeah. Okay. I guess they're two different movies?
wax and cheap
No, because the comments on the short said it was an exiled predator. So there's no way, no.
nostalgia bait that we got in Alien Romulus. The reason I bring all this up is that Prey also suffered from a pretty underwhelming trailer that people were quick to dismiss as a typical Disney girl boss sludge fest, only for the movie itself to turn out way better than expected, so I don't want to write Badlands off completely here. It could still turn out to be a decent addition to the franchise, but man, I think it's about time we accepted that we're never going to recapture the magic of the 1987 original,
Dude, look,
and it's
dude,
about
this
time
is
we
so
accepted
cool. Just like big, sweaty men firing
that we're
guns.
never going to recapture the magic of the 1987
Explosions,
original,
death.
and anything we get now is just a pale imitation of stuff that's already been
Like,
done
it's
far
so fucking
better.
manly,
But
man.
trust me, as long as there's anything remotely left to be milked out of this franchise, Disney will find a way to make it happen. Oh yeah, and just a heads up that we're down to the last few days on our Kickstarter campaign for Trial by Fire.
Okay, so it's short films, alright.
The response has been absolutely amazing.
I mean, as someone who, I was gonna say, as someone who criticizes like movies and shit like that, he should be able to make a good one, right? But like I criticize games. Like if I don't like something about a game or I think it's shit, like I will criticize it. But yeah, I also have like no idea how to make a game. So yeah, just because you criticize something doesn't mean you're good at it. Let's see how this goes.
And we've raised over £250,000 already, and now that we're on the home straight, we're pushing hard to reach as many of our stretch goals as possible. I
Nice.
know everyone's already been super generous, but if you're still thinking about becoming a backer, then now is probably the time to act. As
This was 2 weeks ago, so like sorry, a bit too late to react to this, I feel like.
always, the link is in the description, and I'll leave the rest up to you. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Go away now. Thanks for watching. I'll put the video link in the description. This says it has 3 days to go, so it's probably over by now. Maybe he extended it. In that case, you can go and watch there. Yeah. Like I spent the whole like video thinking this, or not this. Where is it? Like this movie
Damn man, they must have regretted not
that was Badlands. But no, this is Prey, right? Like because he showed this scene, I thought, wait, isn't that the girl I saw in the clip? Okay, so that was Badlands.
giving that one a theatrical.
Fuck. So I don't know. So this movie isn't out, right? Yeah, it's not out since there's no actual like pictures or anything about it. Did he do one for Batman? Okay, let me end the video here. Peace. Remember, in the description, it's his video. If you want to check it out, like, subscribe, all that.